Welcome to Sustainable Leadership Live. I am Lisa Danforth, your host, and today I have the delightful Deb Chisholm, who is a dear friend, a colleague, an amazing woman, and I'm so excited to have her here talking today about empowerment, which is just the foundation, right, of leading and living a sustainable life. So, Deb, thank you so much for joining us.
It's great to be here, Lisa.
All right, before we jump in, I want to share a little bit about Deb's journey, which is just so darn impressive. So Deb is a professionally recognized school counselor, educator, facilitator, coach, and a parent educator. I wish I had you when my kids were younger, Deb. She has dedicated her 40-year career to helping people of all ages recognize and act on their strengths, their values, their beliefs, and their talents. Deb's strengths-based approach to teaching, learning, and coaching has been an ongoing mission for her, and she believes that everyone has the capacity to be confident, strong, kind, and authentic. Everyone. And that's why she does this work. And today she's going to be sharing with us empowered person and powerful leader. So I say, let's dive right in.
Excellent.
All right.
That.
So I say, let's start with that foundation, which is with everything builds up from that, the core values, right? It really drives us. Can you share a little bit about why core values are so important and really what they are?
Absolutely. And I'm actually going to interject too. Empowerment, power, personal power. Everyone has it. Mm-hmm. It's a matter of making the choice to use it. And when we use it, our actions, our statements are going to be caring, kind, positive, impactful, and yes, at times serious and firm. So where do core values enter into this? Oh, they're the essence. I call values the fuel that literally powers us to use our heart-centered power. Mm-hmm. If I'm in a difficult, a challenging situation, and yeah, I'm feeling nervous, maybe feeling a little scared, I tap into my courage. And again, the fuel that drives me to speak or act is or are my values. What's important to me. How someone just treated a coworker. I may make the decision, heart-centered decision, to go to the person that was dissed or put down and say, you know what, I don't agree with what she said. I'm acting on my value that that isn't the way we treat other people. And I want to support the person that I know is hurting right now.
I'm really hearing it allows you to step into that courage to speak up to the things that you want to, because it's so easy to quiet our voice, to not speak up for ourselves or for others. Can you talk a little bit about that heart-centered power? I think we hear about it a bunch, but really sort of define it. This is the essence of the work that you do. So share a little bit about that, if you would, please.
Yeah, because at the center of the work that I do is an empowerment program that I created. And you know what? I'm going to tell the truth here. I'll make it quick. I did create this program that I called Me Power. And some of my clients choose to call it something else. That's fine. Just use the principles. Mm-hmm. And anyway, I had taught part of my program to a group of first and second graders. And when I went to put a star around the words Me Power, I looked at the class and I said, what do you think? A star? And this first grader stood up and she said, no, Ms. Chisholm, you've got to put a heart because Me Power comes from the heart. You know what? Full disclosure. She taught me that. So here's this power that comes from our heart. And she literally went like this. I'll never forget the moment, obviously. Anyway, there are three components to our power: assertion, standing up for ourselves, and listening to our hearts and being our true selves. Second is beliefs. Those are our values,
Mhm.
convictions, etc. And then finally, courage is an essential piece, as Brené has told us. You cannot have or be tapping into courage if there isn't fear present as well.
Oh, could you repeat that one more time? Just let's that one settle there.
Courage isn't a part of what's going on if we're not experiencing nervousness, fear, frustration, worry, whatever.
Mhm. I think that's such a key component for us to really lean into and look at, because we think, if we have confidence, we're never going to experience fear. We're going to step out there. But I love how I love anything Brene anyway, but just bringing that in and highlighting that, I think is so very important.
And the thing is, we all have it. It is
Mhm.
a part of our heart-centered power. Courage is there. We tap into it, we use it when we're focused on our values and convictions and act given that core value or conviction or belief.
Mhm.
Do you have a sense of how that's a real driver?
Yeah, I mean, how I talk about core values often is our vision is where we're heading. Our
Yeah,
values are actually how we get there. They're the alignment that when we're struggling or whatever, we can always come back to those core values and say, is this in alignment with who I see myself as being, that, allows me to be authentic and step into the courage, right? Experience the fear to get to where I want to go to achieve that success, whatever that is for any individual. Yeah.
perfect. We're saying the same thing. You've got a very specific scenario there, vision, our businesses, and so on. When we center into our values for our businesses, we're going
Mm.
in the right direction. We're grounded.
So let's talk a little bit. We hear a lot about values, discover your core values. Can you just share a little bit about helping people narrow down? I don't know about you, but often I hear authenticity is key, right? Like that's the number one. And I believe that we all want to be authentic, but often I've found that it's other core values that when we lean into allows us to step into our authenticity. Can you talk a little bit about discovering values and how to work with them? How to discover them?
I agree with you, Lisa. It really is a drilling down process. I mean, for me, I think still probably like for you, it begins just with this handout full,
Mhm.
learning sheet full of values and narrowing down and getting to anywhere from 8 to 10, whatever. And then narrowing down further. And then come the questions,
Mm.
provocative questions. I think of a young woman I have been working with the last couple of months, and she's looking for her real job. And we could go on about that. I won't. Anyway, but in the process of looking for her real job, not only her own values has she really drilled down, I more than encouraged her to look at what are your values for an organization
Mhm.
you're going to work for.
Mhm.
And we've really drilled that down as well. She'd never thought about that. Not that it wasn't important to her. However, having done that, putting together her values for the kind of organization she wants to work for and her own, and having drilled it down, what does that sound like? What's it look like? How does that show up in an organization? What are you looking for? Wow. I'll tell you, it totally shifted her career, job search.
And I think more and more people are looking to work with or for organizations that they're in alignment with their core values. I just want to mention David Allison, who talks a lot about value graphics. And, it's no longer demographics or psychographics. Where we're really leaning into are the value graphics, that people make choices, decisions, purchases according to values. He's got a very fascinating story. It's just valuegraphics.com. Just want to drop that one in there, which is so very key. But that it is the core values that everything else comes out from, and it's hard to narrow it down to. 3 to 5.
Yeah. That's great. And I don't know if this is a part of his work. It popped to mind for me, something that came up working with this young woman. And what is the organization or business's value relative to meeting her values?
Mhm. I love that, Deb.
Prompted incredible interview questions that she brought to the table.
Mm. Definitely, I would imagine, helped her get grounded, centered before going in and really understanding what she's looking for, and that she's probably interviewing them as much as they're interviewing her, which is
Absolutely, she was.
it's got to be a good fit. I think we all need to be doing that more, and we are doing that more these days. But to really lean into the core values is important.
In fact, it's essential.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about choice. That was one of the things we had kind of chatted about in the green room and how to use it. Can you dig a little deep on that? Because choice is where we are today are because of our choices predominantly.
I absolutely will talk about that because we're only coming from here and using our heart-centered power if we have made the choice to get there. And to explain this, I'm going to do some quick teaching about the brain.
It's okay. You don't have to go quick. I mean, that stuff is big stuff.
Well, our brain, a lot going on up there. God, our brains are amazing. And I love all that they've been learning in the last 15 years plus. Anyway, when we're in a situation and we are feeling fear, nervousness, stress, whatever it might be, our amygdala, the center of emotion, is well lit up. When we make decisions from our amygdala, they don't usually serve us the best. We're very much in our heads. We're in emotion, not the best place to be for our best decisions. So we need to move into our PFC. And to do that,
PFC?
prefrontal cortex.
Thank you.
Yes. Executive functioning, good decisions, problem solving, strategizing, part of the brain. And to get there, it doesn't just happen like that. Lisa's going to love this. We need to hit the pause button. We need to recognize, and we can do this. We can recognize, I feel it in my stomach, someone in their head. We can recognize, we can be self-aware when I'm in my amygdala. It is lit up right now. Pause. Breathe. I say a minimum of 4 times. There I am. 4 times. And we all create our own mantra, quick, short, to say to ourselves. Me power, calm, I've got this, I'm in charge. Shift in neural pathway, connecting to the PFC. The amygdala, still lit up. However, not in the same way at all anymore. Having come to our PFC, now we can connect to our hearts. I'm going to take a moment. I'm going to go to my heart. What is my heart telling me in this situation? Flip that back to when my amygdala was all lit up. I made a choice. I made a choice to take charge, that I wanted to make a decision from my heart, not from my amygdala. I paused, I breathed, I mantraed briefly. And you know what? This can take as short as, I think I'm exaggerating if I say 20 seconds.
Yeah, it takes it's a snap second, really. That it's to me, what I've seen is it's the recognition of I don't want to make a choice from this place, and I think often it's a visceral feeling that is the trigger for us to say, "Don't want to make a choice from this space."
Yeah,
that heart-centered decision. I would love it if you could dig a little deep on the point of just because we're like, okay, now I'm going to go from the back of my head to the front of my head. It's just going to be fine. It's going to be 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 3 steps forward.
Mhm.
Can you talk a little bit about that? Because I believe that we need to have compassionate curiosity when we start to change those extremely well-worn neural pathways to decide to choose differently.
Absolutely. We have to be patient with ourselves. We need to be gentle with ourselves, kind. It takes intention, it takes practice. And you know how we never entirely get rid of our inner critic?
It's there to protect us.
Exactly. Similarly, having learned this and practiced it and so on doesn't mean we're going to do it all the time.
Nope. I love that. Thank you. Like that. And that to me allows us the space to fail. Right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to ace this right out of the bat. If I've been doing this for 20, 30, 40, almost 60 years, it's going to take some time and compassionate curiosity for us to start shifting the freighter and behaving, choosing, and living differently.
In fact, go right back through the process, plug into your heart. I just screwed that up. It wasn't what I wanted to do. So, from my heart, what do I want to do with this now? I haven't ever had a client not have their heart in one way or another say, be gentle with yourself.
Absolutely. Sometimes that heart has a pretty big wall around it. So sometimes I've seen our mental capacity. We've got to remember to have the patience to sit with it, because that is what's going to change our behavior and our reality, our choices.
And you know what, Lisa? This goes back to what you keep teaching us. Pause.
Mm-hmm.
We do need to stop. We do need to pause. We need to breathe. And I'm saying we need to connect.
Yeah, so true. One of the things I love is when we do pause, and I always appreciate when someone talks about pausing, because it is how we make those aligned choices.
Mm-hmm.
But when we pause, it can fuel the push. When we pause, we get into alignment, we connect to the heart, and that heart fuels the push towards what we want more of.
And that's what I say is values as well, Lisa. Because you just use that word, fuels. Yes, our heart, our values fuel us toward what is important to us.
So I'd love to ask, is there a question that I have not asked you that you would have asked yourself? Is there something that you want to share to help anchor all of this beautiful learning that you've been sharing?
I think what I want to say about all of this is that it's so important to me to give process to my clients and to others, that to say, you know, be more confident. We can be confident. We have confidence. To me, creating process for that. Yes, you have confidence. Yes, you have power. And here's the process to connect to that and to use it.
Yes, 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 yes. Really beautiful.
This is so, so important to me.
Yeah. Thank you, Deb. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
I would love to ask, what one habit or boundary has supported you in living and leading a more sustainable life?
It has definitely been what I described earlier, that hitting the pause button, breathing, connecting to my heart right now. What's most important for me to do? What is my heart telling me? And you know, sometimes my heart is telling me, give yourself some space. Give yourself some time. You don't have to say or do something right now. However, it is that process that has been so significant for me. Yeah.
That compassionate curiosity, really allowing ourselves to explore. I love it, Deb. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Where can people find you, reach out to you? Where's the best place to check you out online?
My website, debchisholm.com, and certainly reach out, email me at deb deb@debchisholm.com. I have my semi-active LinkedIn also.
Semi-active LinkedIn. I love that.
Well,
If you have any questions for Deb or want to make a comment, please post in the chat. If you're watching this on the replay, please put in #replay so that we know. But this is big work. I just want to really drive that home. It is it's simple, right? But it's not easy. And what you shared today, Deb, gives us the tools to make it a little easier for ourselves. So I'm really grateful for everything that you've shared and spoken of today.
Thank you, Lisa. Absolutely.
Yeah. Next week, I have Carol Wheeler. Next week, February 15th, if you can believe it. I have Carol Wheeler, who's going to be talking about the importance of connection on all the different areas of our lives. So please join next week, February 15th, 10 a.m. East Coast, 7 a.m. Pacific Coast for all those Western people. So hope you join us. And Deb, thanks again. I really appreciate you joining us and sharing all your brilliance.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.